ramp deck. Zach Elsick of DFW Local, most notable for Atlantic Control, and now he's been doing really well with Crackland Ironworks. He's the one who kind of put this deck together and has been kind of getting it popular, at least locally. It's been getting some play online as well. And it's just basically a ramp deck. So we're just ramping. Our big payoff card is Sifter Wurm. And Sifter Wurm is a 7 mana 7/7 with trample. When it comes into play, you scry 3. So you can choose out of the top 3 cards to go to the bottom or top in any order. And then you reveal the top card of your deck, and you gain life equal to its converted mana cost. Well, when we got the Amonkhet Hour Devastation, we got a rules change. It kind of impacted Modern as far as being able to cheat spells into play, but it actually makes Sifter Wurm better. And that is when we have split cards, in these, it's our Aftermath cards and previous sets where you could fuse them or you could cast one side or the other. Used to, you would be able to have their converted mana cost represent whichever half of the card that you're wanting, but now it's a combined converted mana cost. So we end up with a converted mana cost that is actually the two sides combined for a total. So for example, Spring is a 3 mana sorcery. You get search your library for a base land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle your library. Mind is a 6 mana instant. You draw 2 cards. So combined, their converted mana cost is 9. So when Sifter Wurm flips over a Spring to Mind, we actually have a 9 mana spell. Commit to Memory is a 10 mana spell. So you could actually set up situations where Sifter Wurm comes into play, sets up your next 1 or 2 draw steps, and gains you a large chunk of life. You have thematic compasses, which flip into Maze of Iths to keep people from attacking you, to buy you time. You have the Hour of Devastations, Hour of Promises, and you eventually just kind of set up a really good board state. And then you can cut turbines. Cut is 4 damage, and then you flash it back, and you get to make your opponent lose life. And then you have some board wipes through Heaven and Earth. So you have a couple different plays to make, but it's really just ramping and playing these spells for just kind of ridiculous amounts and gaining large amounts of life. It's weaker if there's a lot of control decks, but right now control's kind of gotten hated out a lot through some of the black decks, and so we're able to just kind of play these value matchups. So we're going to jump in and we're going to play a league through with, and my windows are probably going to get messed up because I've been reworking on my computer a little bit, but we're going to play a league through with this Sifter Wurm ramp deck. So just kind of sifting through for some wins. Let's see. Sideboard is kind of spicy. I'm not really sure about the Mirari's Conjecture. There's not a lot of these spells I really want to be buying back. But we have Carnage Timer for the control decks. We have Sandworm Convergence for anybody with flyers, but also just regularly making a 5/5 every end step. We have control cards like Negate. We have aggressive cards like Shivan Fire and Aether Meltdown to keep up with aggressive matchups. But we're going to kind of see how this pans out. Yeah, so I'm going to have to remove my window a couple times because it is messed up from working on how my computer setup is. Perfect. Alright, so we won the dice roll, so we will be playing first. We have Gift of Paradise for some ramp. We have Double Hour of Devastation. This hand's going to be really weak if it's against a control deck, but if we are playing against a creature-based list, this is actually going to be really strong. So I'm going to go ahead and keep the hand. It does have some flaws and weaknesses, but it should, in theory, be good enough for us to get there. Alright, no reason to lead off with a land that's going to deal us damage over time, so we're just going to leave with a mountain, because we have 4 forests in the deck. We can always draw a natural forest before it comes time to play Gift of Paradise. Alright, so it looks like a blue-black mid-range deck. These decks are actually a little low on the counter magic. They have a little more discard, they're a little bit more on creatures, so our Hour of Devastation should be pretty good. We also have Struggle to Survive, which is just really efficient at dealing with Scarab Gods. Struggle deals damage to target creature with a number of lands I control, and then I can pay 2 mana and have everybody shuffle their graveyards back in. So this card is fine. Alright, so we have a Sheep Oasis. We're going to go ahead and enchant one of our Oasises, just so it can start producing color mana in addition to our mountain doing it. And the reason we want to do that is now we can actually eventually play this Struggle to Survive off the lands we have. without having to take damage for the survive portion. And we end up regaining life off the gift. So now we have a land that will tap for 2 mana. We have an Arch. We're a little away from having City's Blessings. We're not going to be drawing cards off the Arch yet, but that is eventually our goal. This could be like an Esper Knights build, now that we see an Isolated Chapel. Or it could be like Esper Godpharaoh's Gift. Could also just be the blue-black mid-range deck, splashing Teferi. So a lot of teams getting ready for the RPTQ the last weekend and 2 weeks prior to that will realize that there was kind of an opening for if you played the blue-black deck and nobody was on the blue-white control deck. You could kind of easily splash Teferi into your blue-black mid-range lists. Not all the decks did that. It just kind of depended on what you wanted to accomplish. So we get another thematic compass, which isn't really important. The Liliana Knight of Malice definitely tells me we're on the probably the blue-black mid-range, but we could still have Godpharaoh's Gift in here. I want to play a land off this compass, so because I want to do that, we're actually going to go ahead and activate the compass to get a land. What land are we going to want? We'll look and see kind of what we have in our deck, because I'm still kind of getting used to the list. But we're going to definitely play the other compass off of the land we get, so it doesn't really matter a whole lot. Alright. We would like some blue sources. Because of our gift, our mana is pretty good, but I could use a blue or black because we do have some blue and black spells in here. We have no representation of that yet. So if we want to like play a Consign to Oblivion combined, we're going to need some way to split up our mana a little bit. So we're going to take an island. We'll play the island because there's no reason to show them the Arch yet. They could play like Field of Ruins, so we don't really want to get our Arch blown up until we have to. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're at 8 permanents, so our City's Blessing is still a little ways away after we play a land. History is a card we could be concerned about. What we could do is we actually have enough Hour of Devastation that we could just Hour of Devastation now. And that would allow us to... What do we get if we Hour of Devastation now? If we Hour now, they can't bring back the Champion Wits yet. They won't have enough creatures in the graveyard to like play and sack a Arch yet. So we could probably just go ahead and do that to prevent ourselves from taking too much damage. So that's probably going to be our play. We're going to go and play the Forest because, again, there's no reason to show them the Arch yet. So double red. And we're going to keep this mountain open just to represent the possibility of another red source. Or of another red spell. Like a Shock or a Shivan Fire. So they're going to get this 1/2/2, which isn't incredibly scary right now. Play a Liliana. So there's the Scarab God. We're going to definitely answer that here. Question is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can pay for 7. I think we want to go ahead and just kill the Scarab God now. And then we're going to go ahead and shuffle. Just because we don't want to deal with Scarab God, and our opponent only has 2 cards in hand, so they could have another Scarab God, but it's not super likely. So now what we can do, because Heaven is an instant, is we can actually play Heaven and their instep for 0 to put it in the graveyard, and this way we can flash back Earth to wipe the board, so we'll have Hour Devastation and Earth as far as board wipes, depending on what they play here. Another Scarab God, that'd be unfortunate. That is what it is. Well, I mean, they have no gas off of it currently. Oh, we have 6th. So, We're going to go find ourselves a land. We overtapped for that. That's okay. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to go and get this mountain. Play the mountain. We have City's Blessing, and we're going to go ahead and wipe this board. Our opponent gets Scarab God back, but Scarab God has nothing it's really going to do to us currently. So now we actually have 2 Mazeviths between our spires, so we're going to be able to just start mazing whatever his Scarab God when he swings with it. So our Scarab God actually represents nothing currently. We are going to be able to start activating Arch as well. So we're going to gift the untapped mountain. That's going to gain us some life. And we can actually start, we can put the Heaven in the graveyard and start drawing cards and still bubbling his Scarab God. So we're actually in a good spot. We just need to find ourselves a Sifter Wurm. That's okay. Okay. Tap this guy and get him out of combat. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and generate a bunch of mana. And we're going to Heaven for 0. And then we're going to activate our Arch Jaw card. So we've got just plenty of Hour Devastations. Oh, goodness. So we could wipe this board for fairly cheap. It would cost us 7 mana. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We would not be able to also activate Arch. So we could just Hour for this and still have... Yeah, that's the best play. So we can actually Hour and still have 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll still actually be able to have the ability to draw a card off Arch. So that's all we're going to really worry about doing. We eventually do need to draw ourselves a way to win the game, but we should be able to find a way to do that eventually. Alright. We're going to cycle the desert. Alright, so there's a cut. We can actually save the cut for whenever he brings back one of these knights. Then we'll cut the knight, and this way we can actually aftermath the ribbons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we can actually double ribbons our opponent out of the game at some point pretty soon. So he swings a Scarab God. We move Scarab God from combat. We're going to draw a card off Arch. Alright, so draw a land. Alright. We're going to kill the Knight of Malice. It's protection from white, but we're able to still do that. So we can still ribbons our opponent for a lot, but we're not quite there yet. We can currently ribbons our opponent for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So ideally we would like to find the other cut. Our opponent also could be sitting on like some kind of main deck counter magic. So we need to keep that in mind. Okay, so okay. So we can actually get rid of Scarab God here, or no, because he has too many cards in hand currently. So we can consign Scarab God at some point soon, and then Oblivion the Scarab God, but we're not at that point yet. So they're going to rebuy their Knight of Malice now. So we could actually just get rid of the Knight of Malice if we want to. That might actually be the better play. Because the Scarab God currently isn't doing anything, so I'd rather just have my opponent not be able to swing for 9 this turn or get a scry. So there's a Champion of Wits. It's not incredibly concerning right now. We still have 2 Struggle to Survives. This is a lot of lands. It's kind of our goal. So we're going to generate a lot of mana and then find a way to win eventually. It's not going to be unheard of for us to actually mill our opponent. So that's the upside. There's a lot of like dead cards in our opponent's hands. The upsides are not making us use our Maze of Iths, so we kind of have the freedom to do whatever, because they know that their guy can't attack, but they should still be swinging just because it makes us use up one of our mana. Okay. Kind of want to go ahead and Oblivion them. So that's 1, 2... oh, wait. Cancel. That's not what I wanted. We wanted Oblivion them. Boom. Alright, so... we'll go 1, 2, 3. So make them discard 2. Alright, so they discard a Scarab God and a Vraska's Contempt. So now we're going to consign the Scarab God, and then we're going to Oblivion them again. So we bounce the Scarab God to their hand, and then we're going to flash back Oblivion again, and make them discard the last 2 cards they have in hand. If they have a counter spell, this is going to be the time that they need to be playing it. Okay, so they're going to rebuy their Scarab God. So they're going to sack the original, so they get the trigger. That makes sense. Okay. So we could just hour here. We have a way to bubble 2 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, we're not going to hour. We want to be able to. We don't really want to put Champion Wits back in their graveyard. I don't want them drawing more cards, and I still want to be able to activate my Arch. So they have 2 cards in hand. One of them is Scarab God that we know. They do have an eventual clock with the Scarab God they have, but theoretically we should draw a Sifter Wurm or something soon enough. Okay. So we probably will hour pretty soon. Alright, so we're going to bounce one of these guys out of combat. And then we're going to bounce the other guy out of combat. And then we're going to get to draw a card. Actually, we still are going to be able to get his Scarab God because he has it in hand, and so we're going to still be able to make him discard it and wipe this board. So we're actually in a really good spot. So let's first do that. Let's go black, black. 1, 2. Alright. And make you discard your Scarab God that you've been holding on to. Okay. So he has a Scarab God and one other card because he cycled a land. Maybe he hits a negate here? Nope. Alright. So he's just... I mean, he's better off binning that land than risking hitting gas that he then discards. I would think, but maybe not. So yeah, he ends up discarding a history. Then we hour, and he's tapped out, so he's not going to be able to stop this. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we play an Oasis, and we're going to be able to draw a card off Arch. And he's now got 0 cards in hand. He's going to have a 2-2. And we're going to be able to kill this 2-2 with the Earth we have in the graveyard. Which need to find a way to win the game pretty soon. Alright. For the Champion of Wits, or... Okay, so Liliana... That's unfortunate. So he's going to be able to regain Scarab God by returning it to his hand with the minus. Or... Okay. He's going to get Champion of Wits. I feel like that had to be a misclick. Don't see why you'd want Champion of Wits. So now this Hour of Devastation we're sitting on is actually going to completely wipe his board. Because it deals damage to all non-bolus planeswalkers. That will include Liliana. Okay. We have 4 Sifter Wurms in the deck. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play this. Alright, we're actually going to cycle this Desert of the Indomitable. Sit on this Consign. We'll play the Spire above Canal. Or this Commit to Memory. So, how much damage can we currently do with our Cut to Ribbons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we're 17 once we get both these lands in place. We're still 3 lands away from... okay. So we're still 3 lands away. Once we get both these lands in play, we're still 3 lands away from one-shotting him with the Cut to Ribbons. And it's safe to say because of the cycling, really, like, yeah, we're drawing all the lands. But, I mean, that's... Our plan is to eventually Cut to Ribbons them for their entire life total. So we either want to draw all the lands or no more lands, but I don't want to be in the middle, right? Like, alright, so 1, 2, 3... Alright, so we draw another land. Yeah, that's okay. Okay. Alright. So we're going to play a Spring. The upside is like we can't take any damage from this Champion of Wits. We have 2 Maze of Iths. So put the Swamp into play tapped. And I guess we'll go ahead and Mind, because there's no reason not to. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a Sifter Wurm, but I think I would actually rather... I think I'd rather just go ahead and put this Gift of Paradise in play. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So we need, in 2 turns, we can 20 him off the cut to ribbons. So he swings, we bounce it out of combat, and then we get to draw a card. Okay, so there's a Liliana. We actually do not yet next turn, but we're about to. We need to be able to play the 2 lands we have in hand. But currently nothing he has going on is actually going to represent lethal to us. Because we have all these Maze of Iths. So we're just going to draw some more cards. Okay, that's a pretty good land to draw. So let's go Scavenger Grounds. And we're actually going to play a Sifter Wurm. We need to pay 5 more. Alright. And we're going to get another Maze of Ith. What is that? Consign. I actually want Consign on the top of the deck, because it'll gain me a fair amount of life, and it'll give me the option to like get cards out of their hand if necessary. So we're gonna go 1, 2, play a Compass, and then we can actually commit if they try to do anything. And we're going to be able to ribbons them out of the game next turn. Ideally, it'd be best if we can actually hit them with Sifter Wurm, because if we can hit them with Sifter Wurm... oh, well, nope. So... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21... So if they have a counter spell, then we could be in trouble, but... I mean, not in trouble, I guess. The question is, do we play it safe? I almost want to play it safe and go for the Consign on the champion and then Oblivion them to make sure they don't have counter magic. Because I don't want to have to like find another cut to ribbons. So we're actually going to do it this way. And this is just the safer play. It takes an extra turn now, but it's going to prevent a turn in the long run. Because I don't know if they have any counters in the main deck. Alright, so they have Essence Scatter and Fatal Push, but that doesn't matter. So they have 1 card in hand. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can't do anything about that ability. But I guess if they have a negate. If they have a negate, then they get us, but we have enough life total, it's not a big deal. Yeah, so Zach Elsick was actually, he kind of made this this deck pretty popular. He's been playing this version of it, and he's been working a lot with Saffron Olive. So Saffron then made like a budget version of the deck to try to like play haphazard bombardment, things like that. But there was 2 players that took this deck to the Team RPTQ, and they both did really well. Their teams top 16 and top 8 out of 90 teams, so it ended up being a pretty good play for them. Alright, so let's get our graveyard, and now we're going to cut, and we're just going to spend everything on it. X. Done. Alright, so they lose 22. And we go to game 2. It's not the fastest deck. There's not a lot of win cons. Yeah, the deck's great. I mean, it's really fun. In paper, it's a little bit better because you can kind of like shortcut and speed your way through things. Online, there's like obviously a lot of clicking, but overall, it's still really good. So it's safe to say they're probably going to bring in counter magic. I didn't like Heaven and Earth very much in that matchup. Consign and Oblivion, that's the kind of match we want it for. Commit to Memory seems pretty good. Struggle to Survive is really good. So I don't really know what all of our cuts are. I think the Hour Promises are good. I think I want these negates. I feel like we can go down 1 Compass and down an Hour of Promise. I kind of want one of these Sandworm Convergences. Also, Carnage Tyrant plays really well with Hour of Devastation. So I don't hate Carnage Tyrant. Maybe Commit to Memory seems pretty good. I think we can go down it. Don't really want to go down ramp spells. If we're bringing a Carnage Tyrant, I think we can go down Sifter Wurm. They're probably bringing counter magic, so we can go down and Consign. Maybe we only bring in 2 Tyrants. This is probably good. It kind of depends on how they bring in their deck. If they still stay real creature heavy, then these negates aren't as important. I really like Spring to Mind. We might not need all the Gift of Paradises. Between Hour Promise and Spring to Mind, like I think we're gonna eventually just have time. We're gonna the matchup's gonna like be slow enough. We'd probably go down and get a Gift of Paradise and just go Tyrant. If they get Tyrant off the board, yeah, joys of working on the computer. Yeah, if they get Tyrant off the board, then it's awkward. Like if they're able to, like bring it back with a Scarab God, but this is a keep because we have a lot of ramp and we have a mind and a commit, so we have the ability to do a lot. Alright, so I don't know why it keeps re-centering. Alright. Okay, so we're going to go and play a Memorial because it comes into play tapped. Now we also have a Struggle to Survive, so we have a Scarab God answer. One of our compasses would be nice here, but we don't have that. So we go and play this Forest, so our Hinterland Harbor comes into play untapped. Next turn we probably want to play Spring. I think. Or probably, no, maybe Gift. History. Alright, so now we have a negate, which is a little bit late. So we're going to go Hinterland, and we're going to gift our Forest. Because it can't get Field of Ruin. It's the one we're most likely going to want to generate value off of. So this is the kind of hand we can pretty easily lose to, where we just get History'd out of the game. But, ugh, double History. That's pretty rough. Alright, so we're going to get hit for a lot. We could commit this History on top of their deck at their upkeep, so they don't get the trigger on it, or after their draw step. And then that way we can negate it on the following turn. And maybe that's better. That might be the best play. I think that's probably our best play, so we're going to stop on our opponent's turn. And we're going to play a land. So we're going to bounce this History that's about to blow up. And we're going to take 6 here. An Hour of Devastation would be really good. Yeah, 'cause otherwise we could just be dead. Alright, so we need to be able to shoot one of the knights and then counter his history and then draw a board wipe. So shoot one of these guys. We're going to take 12 and go to 3. Plays another history, we negate it. And then we hope to hit an Hour of Devastation. Can we do anything with cut? No, we can't. Alright, so we can see. Yep, so that's the hand that we're gonna most easily lose. Maybe we don't want all the Carnage Tyrants. We do want this gift. I still think this is probably right. We're just on the draw, like the multiple history plan is going to be really hard for us to beat. So we just kind of have to work around that. This hand we will keep. It's not great. Doesn't really do anything, and we don't have the colors we need, so we're actually going to mulligan. This hand is also not great, but we'll keep because we can counter a turn 2 history or turn 3 history, so we're gonna just hope that that will be enough to get us there, and then the Sifter Wurm will gain us some life. Alright, so Field Ruin's not great. It will kind of fix our mana. It'll allow us to go find a mountain. Alright, so we can't do anything about the knight. We also need to get another forest for these guys eventually. Alright, so we're going to take 2. We're going to try to blow up his concealed courtyard when we get the opportunity. Teach keep a 2-land knight hand. Alright. Blow up his untapped land. Don't want to give him 2 untapped mana. We're going to go ahead and take a mountain, because if we draw like a red spell, we want to be able to cast it. We have this other Field of Ruin. Alright, so that works. I think we're going to sit on the same plan again, a Field of Ruining. And maybe we just blow up this Concealed Courtyard now. Yeah, so let's go and just do that on our end step, because they've obviously passed priority. And we're going to go ahead and get... We have no front side black cards, so we're going to go ahead and get a... Well, we'll go and get the Swamp. So they do have a Swamp. So it looks like they're just white-black, splashing Scarab God. They also have an island. So take 4. We haven't seen any of our ramp spells yet. Alright, so our opponent's passing. Very high likelihood that they're just sitting on counter magic. So we'll just go ahead and play this pass. We're going to be able to go Carnage Tyrant next turn, which might be enough. Well, maybe they're just sitting on a bunch of cycle lands. So we go to 10. Knight of Mouse is going to be tough. Because now that gives their guys pump. We're going to go and just play this Carnage Tyrant. We need to hit an hour of devastation pretty badly. The upside is the next turn we're going to be able to play a Sifter Wurm and gain some life. And hopefully get a little cushion. Scarab God is fine. Alright, so now we Sifter Wurm. And see how much life we can gain. Bottom all the lands. So we gained 3 off a Gift of Paradise. That's not a card we really wanted to see. Upsides, we have like a pretty decent wall. So next turn we're going to be able to go Hour of Promise to get some zombies. Well, that's unfortunate. So we block there, we take 9. Oh my goodness. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we gift this forest, it's not good. And then we Hour of Promise. Green, black, red, red. And we have 2 deserts, so we need to take at least 1 desert. So we're going to take Scavenger Grounds and Arch, and then pass. We still definitely need to hit a an hour of devastation pretty badly. If we hit Hour of Devastation, though, we can actually like Hour and Scavenger Grounds, and then I think we have the game locked up. And we'll just take the 2 from the Chupacabra. We're obviously not blocking that. There's no reason to let him get a Chupacabra back. Sheep. So we're going to keep our negates open. I guess we maybe needed to activate Arch, because now he's going to get these really big knights. We are able to do some blocks. Okay, so we're going to block there, block there, block there, 4, 8, 10. We're going to activate to draw a card. No, that land is not what we need. Jeez. Oh, and we meant to negate that. That was not what we wanted to do. And we draw another land. So, activate Arch. Need to hit an hour. Gift will not be enough. So yeah, we lose. Alright, so we flood out. It's not really... We could have, like, the last history didn't even matter, so even if we negate that, it's still going to be, like, a loss. We needed to definitely have more interaction early on. So because our opponent was on the history plan, maybe whenever we reboarded, possibly we didn't need the Carnage Tyrants, but the problem is we needed to, like, close games. So, like, we don't really want the Carnage Tyrant. We want to be able to be the control deck, but it took so long to win game 1 that we had to kind of have it. This one is a pretty easy keep. We have a Sifter Wurm, we have a ramp spell. We don't have a way to play this Rootbound Crag untapped, but it's okay. And so we're going to play the Rootbound Crag first, I think, because if we draw like untapped other colored lands, we want to be able to turn 3 the Gift of Paradise. Or, nope, that's perfect. So now we actually get to go Memorial into Forest into Rootbound Crag on Gift. Alright, so opponent plays a Swamp. Could be mono black, could be blue black, could be Esper, white black. Oh, they're not. Oh, okay, so it looks like green black energy or mono black. Let's see, Siphoner. We're going to kill that here because we don't really want them generating card advantage this early on. So next turn we get to Gift of Paradise our Forest. White-black. This white-black mid-range deck seems to be popular. We go to 23. And we have a pretty fair amount of mana generated now. Goodness. Turn target non-land permanent. So our opponent has 3 cards in hand, so it doesn't really do us any good to consign this yet. We definitely want to get Heaven in the graveyard, so that way we can Earth. Upside is we can actually commit a spell. So if they go land, spell, we can commit and still put Heaven in the graveyard. And so we're going to be able to wipe this board next turn. And so their history is going to blow up and do nothing. Scarab God? Or... Oh. Lyra. We're going to commit Lyra. Because we can't Heaven it. We're short 1 mana on being able to kill Lyra with Heaven and then wipe the board with Earth. That's unfortunate. Oh, we've got to cycle this. Man, I am punting. This is awful. So... I meant to do this at the end of the turn, but that's okay. So we can still... Yeah, we can still Earth the board for 2. And then play a land tapped. And pass. Alright, so their history does nothing. We're about to play a really big Sifter Wurm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do this. Alright. And we will take our promise. So we go back to 20. And next turn we're going to be able to make 2 2/2s and get an arch and fix our mana. Or we could... Yeah, because some problem is like we could try to consign and get them to discard now, but I don't think that does anything for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want to leave this forest open so we can consign them at instant speed. So we need to get Arch and get Rivulet. So we have City's Blessing and we get 2 zombies. Our opponent is at 22. We really don't mind taking damage from this knight. They probably have Fatal Push. So like if we double block, they would just push and then first strike. So here's Lyra or Chupacabra. That's fine. That's okay. And we still don't really have anything we want to consign, because I guess now we do. Okay, so now we will consign because we can actually get both of their cards. So we're going to be able to get Lyra and the Knight of Malice. And we'll be able to ramp a land. And then we'll play Spring. We're short on land drop on being able to, let's see, let's get this island. Okay, so we weren't. Or they just conceded the match entirely. Alright, so we win that one 1-0. They didn't want to play against the ramp deck. I saw it 5-0 the other day, so I don't know if it's getting played a lot online. I haven't played leagues a lot in the last couple days. But that's 2 straight white-black base decks, so maybe there's more of them and I just hadn't seen them. Alright, so I gotta move the screen back over in just a second. I will refix this later on. Alright, looking at our hand, we have no forest. That's true. Mulligan. Man. We really need a green source to be able to keep any hand, so we have to mulligan again. Well, I guess we keep this one. The blue is not something we want to have in our opener. We need to find a way to get red mana. Alright, so there's mana fixing. So we need another land. What's up? Come on, bud. I've seen like some banned Planeswalker decks floating around. I don't really want to necessarily throw away this Heaven until I know they're not going to be playing like a Lyra. Because I currently don't have like a clean way of killing Lyra. Or like, I've seen some like Abzan Angel lists 5-0 and things like that, so we don't really know what they're on. This could be Bant Approach. I used to play this list for a while. It's kind of fallen out of favor. But it runs a lot similar to this Sifter Wurm list with ramp spells. But it's just casting Approach. The cat did find me. Came in and gave me a real stern look and then tried to scratch the chair. And now he's playing with a wire. Because he's entertaining. Yeah, so this definitely looks like Bant Approach. It could be like that Bant Approach is now splashing Sifter Wurm. And if this is that list, or a list similar to that, my hand is awful. Because my cards do nothing. Yep. Interesting to play a land and then activate Compass, because now I know they have an island in hand. So you really want to only do that the other way around. I can't do anything, so we pass. We are astronomically far behind currently. So there goes that island. There goes an hour. I feel safe getting rid of this heaven now. I don't know this list, so like he could like play a random planeswalker, so I don't really want to throw away the hour of devastation yet. I guess maybe we do. I feel like we're about to just snap lose to yeah, we'll just let that be. Alright, so we at least get to try to resolve this compass. Hopefully they don't have main deck negates. Alright, we're going to activate the compass now because we are way behind, so we need to get our land drops. This is not the way we want to find our land drops, but this is the world we're in. Alright, play them out. So we do now have targets for cut, so we'll be able to get the ribbons into the graveyard. Could approach here and still have like negate as backup. Yeah, no, I figured this isn't the Planeswalker Bant list, but I didn't know if there's a possibility that like they have like random Karns or Teferis in their approach deck, because the approach used to be this Bant ramp shell. It looks very similar to the ramp deck I'm playing now, and so they could just like slam a Teferi. I would prefer not to lose my Hour of Devastation if they do have like 2 Teferis in their list and they randomly play one. The zombies aren't a clock yet, especially because I'm going to cut one pretty soon so I can have the ribbons. Now they have a Maze of Ith, so our Sifter Wurm doesn't really do anything besides fixing a draw step. 3, 4, 5, 6. We can't play Sifter Wurm. Play Spire Bluff Canal. We're going to go ahead and cut one of these zombies. And then we'll keep the ability to compass open. I guess they could. Ooh, maybe that was bad because they Scavenger Grounds us. And we end up losing our cut to ribbons, which is really the way we're going to win the game. Sifter Wurm's not going to be able to attack through the Spire. I guess we do have 2 Field of Ruins in the deck, so we could blow up the Maze of Ith. But I think cut to ribbons is going to be our primary way. Cast out. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yep. So we're about to lose our mana fix, but we're going to go and activate it. So we can at least get the mana to cast the Sifter Wurm. We're going to go ahead and get the Swamp. I mean, it's highly likely in the current format that, oh, there goes the approach, that our opponent is also on a lot of board wipes. Let's see if we're still alive. Alright, cool. Sorry, OBS quit for a second. So, what do we want to hit? Actually, I think we want Hour on top, and we're actually going to send Spring to Mind and Field of Ruins away, because we want to be able to go get Ipnu Rivulet and mill them. Unless they just have another approach. Yeah, okay. Oh, didn't really matter what we did. Ugh. So yeah, it's Bant approach. They're going to have a lot of counter magic out of their board. So we're going to bring in these negates. Heaven and Earth is pretty worthless. Consign to Oblivion is pretty worthless. I don't mind Sandworm Convergence. I don't mind Carnage Tyrants. Cut Ribbons doesn't have a ton of targets. But Hour of Devastation does just nothing. We probably want Conjecture for the long game, which take away Hour of Devastation, take away Struggle that survives. Like, we still want the Cut to Ribbons, I think, because they're going to play an hour, and this will allow us to blow up their zombie and then have ribbons. I don't really know. I think this is probably our sideboard plan. As weird as this looks. Yeah, he's just... I don't even know what he's doing. He left. He became bored. Then he left. Okay, cool. Sorry. OBS is acting real weird. Keeps coming in and out. Alright, so... I mean, we could have more consigned Oblivions, but I don't think the cost of finding a target for consign is worth the cost of Oblivion. We're really going to lean on Carnage, Tyrants, and Sandworm Convergence to get there. No, not apparently not. He wanted to play with his wire, and since I chose not to play with his wire, he was done. Our Mirari's Conjectures are going to be used to rebuy our promises and negates. We are willing to like cut one of our own zombies, our own Carnage, Tyrant, Sifter Wurms, just to get it in the graveyard. It's taking a while to reconnect to the game. Alright. Make sure we're lined up correctly. Alright, cool. So, we are going to play first. I want to keep this hand real bad. But on the play, 2 lands. We're a 27 land deck, but if we miss 1 land drop, we're in trouble. If we hit a land drop, we have double spring, so we should be fine. We have 2 draw steps to hit a land. There's 25 lands left in the deck, so we're a little bit less than 50% to hit a land twice. We're going to keep it. Probably get just completely punished for it. But I really don't want to go to 6 because this has everything I want, really. I have counter magic as well as ramp spells. So, okay, we get there, thankfully. Because like we want springs or gift paradises. Exactly. Search is actually a pretty advantageous card compared to what I've got going on. So we want to go get an island. So we have our counter spells. And then we're going to spring again for another island. Let's see if they bent something. So they kept whatever was on top. Play Compass and some Puddle Grove. Alright, so we're gonna spring. We're gonna get island number 2, and then we're gonna play a land. So now next turn we're actually gonna be able to keep open Mind to draw cards at the end of their turn. The problem is we don't have like just an instant free win. So they can just win back-to-back on turns, and we can't. So, we're going to play the Spire Bluff Canal, and we can mind on their turn. So they get to go find a land. Yeah, this might be my new favorite negate art. That's pretty sweet. Welcome back. So they discard a settle. We are going to negate this hour promise for sure. We could go ahead and commit, but I think we want to be able to have that card still. We're going to play Scavenger Grounds. We can go and play Sifter Wurm now. I think that's probably our best play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just go and play this massive thing. Oh. So we're gonna get. We don't want the land. I think we put our promise on top and Sandworm Convergence on top. Sandworm Convergence is like they have to answer it. So we could just slam that card soon. So now we have 2 cards we can put on top of the deck. No. And we have like a pretty good clock already sitting in play. So they need to be able to interact with the spells we're about to start casting, as well as what we have in play already. So 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They took their entire turn off, so they could just activate Compass and negate. So I think I'm actually going to not cast the Sandworm Convergence, and I'm going to just keep open mind so I can draw 2 cards at their end step, and then if I hit a negate in the next couple cards, I'll be able to cast Sandworm Convergence with negate backup. So they are going to be able to flip their Compass. Which is awkward, because that means I am no longer swinging. So they played this Plains. I've already seen that island get played. Alright, so go ahead and play Mind. We draw 2 cards. Alright, so now we have double Hour of Promise. Okay, so we're going to go to combat, make him remove my Sifter Wurm from combat. And then we are going to Hour of Promise for Arch, and we'll need a Desert. So we'll get Arch and Rivulet, so this way we can actually interact with their approach going on top of their deck. So now we're going to get 2 zombies. So now what happens is when they play Arch, Arch is going to go on top of their deck, and we will be able to, whenever they're getting close to drawing it, activate our Hypno Rivulet to mill them. We don't mind that, because it's going to eat our Sifter Wurm. That's fine. Our Sifter Wurm was getting removed from combat forever anyway. Can approach here. Regal Caracal. Okay. So we'll be able to kill this cat. And still swing with our zombies. And they tapped their spire for that. So cut the cat. So now the other cats are 1/1s. They don't have blue mana. So we're going to commit this negate. So it means they are going to keep a negate. But that's fine. We do need to get a Gift to Paradise pretty soon because we can't flashback this Ribbons. Alright, so now we swing with both zombies. Okay, so he double blocks one. We trade. He takes no damage because he gains life. So we can't. I think we want to just hour again. Yeah, because I want to keep the clock going, and also having the excess mana is pretty good. And they haven't approached yet, so it doesn't really matter. So we're going to get Swamp and Field of Ruins. I guess we could have gotten another Rivulet. That was probably better. The Singleton Swamp, like, it's never going to fix me. So I guess if we got Rivulet, then we actually could start turning on a mill package pretty soon. But I think that's okay. We do have the Field Ruins, so we can blow up this maze. So here goes an approach. So now we know approach is on top. Which means we're incentivized to mind. Because it could have another approach in hand. So we're in this awkward spot. Like if he has a second approach in hand, then we lose if we don't mind our opponent. Alright, so I think we have to, not mind, memory. I think we have to memory, just because I don't think it's going to work with what we have going on. Like if they have another approach in hand, we just lose the game. And I would rather have a shot at drawing interaction to win the game. So we have negate. We have Mirari's Conjecture, which we really don't want to play yet. Let's see. We have a Spring, which doesn't matter. We have a Cut, which doesn't matter. So we'll just do this. Alright, so we have the ability to negate an approach. They also can't flip their search. But from now on, all searches just win the game. So we need to be able to play around that. If they cast anything that's basically not search, we can activate Arch. We also might want to Field of Ruin their Spire, so our clock isn't erased, especially now that they have two of them. Carnage Tyrant. Carnage Tyrant's unfortunate. So our attacks are pretty well brick-walled. Which means I no longer care to pop the Spire. But I am going to activate the Arch. Okay. So we still need a Gift of Paradise. So we're going to spring. Alright, so we're out of lands to fetch with spring. But we're still going to go and cast the other one now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we could just draw 4 cards at the end of their turn if we play it. Oh no, not this turn. So yeah, we'll go ahead and just hour, because we're going to go ahead and use our mana. There. And we'll just get more zombies. We want Rivulet. So we have the option just to go really aggressively at the milk package if we need to. If we can hit a Gift of Paradise, we'll be able to drain our opponent out of the game with this Cut to Ribbons. Kept that card on top. Hour of Promise, we're not going to worry about Hour of Promise. It's not what we want to fight over. We fought over the earlier one to try to leverage an advantage, but we don't care about it anymore. So it's also worth noting they have 4 Rivulets and another desert, so they could actually mill us for just a really large amount of cards. So we need to keep that in mind. Cancel. Alright, so on their instep we will mind, so we can try to hit a Gift of Paradise. Then we have 1 blue source open, so a gift should, in theory, be enough. Commit won't do it. Okay. So we're going to cut one of these zombies. We're going to play another hour. We're going to take Field of Ruin, Hinterland Harbor. And we still need to get a Gift of Paradise. We have 3 Gift of Paradises left in the deck. Our opponent's not really incentivized to get aggressive with milling yet, so we just need to hit one of those. Kind of want to commit this. Because I want to be able to do some big attacks. Well, The hope is that we didn't just get baited. Okay. Scavenger Grounds was like the perfect land for them to play right there. Cycle this desert. And we can't cycle this desert. Alright, so we're going to gift one of these mountains. If they let it resolve. Yeah, so now we regain priority, and we're going to be able to drain them out. Drain them for 16. They don't have a counter, because if they had a counter, they would have countered my negate and won last turn. Ugh. Alright, so they do have Carnage Tyrants, which means Heaven and Earth. We might want like one of these to blow up their Carnage Tyrant and their Regal Caracal. I don't see us sticking the Sandworm Convergence, and they also have cast outs, so that Sandworm Convergence just isn't doing anything. So we want to go ahead and shift to the Heaven and Earth plan to be able to wipe the board. Definitely think, like, so our opponent actually had a pretty dominant win in that position if they just use their Scavenger Grounds in response to my Gift of Paradise. I don't think I like Mirari's Conjecture. Because there's not really spells I want to be rebuying from my graveyard. So it's really in there just so like I can hopefully cut to ribbons them for a large chunk out of nowhere. That's not something I want to count on, is like being able to align the stars for that. I still think it's in there because like it's probably better than Consigned to Oblivion. It's not great. Maybe Sifter Wurm just isn't very good. Maybe like we want 2 Consigned to Oblivions. And only 2 Sifter Wurms. And this will allow me to have some early plays. And I can like set up some discards. I get down to like 2 cards in hand and I Oblivion them. That's pretty good. I don't love it. I would love another black source in the deck. In some way, shape, or form. Because it's not very good to like only have the Singleton Swamp, because then you have games like that where you're just hoping that you get a Gift of Paradise and that it is allowed to sit and play. This hand is not great, but we have a really fast Carnage Tyrant, we have Rivulets, and we have a Spring to Mind, so we're going to keep it. It's very slow, but there's a lot worse hands, so I think we're fine. Alright, so it's really good because we're going to be able to go turn 4 Hour of Promise. So we're going to be able to pressure this Compass pretty aggressively. So next turn we go Rivulet into Hour of Promise. It needs to fetch 2 deserts. They don't have a blue source, so they're probably going to activate... Oh, good. We wanted an Arch, but we weren't going to be able to get it. So they're going to probably need to use their Compass to go get an island. Based off the mana we have, we want to go ahead and fetch an island, so we're not taking a bunch of unnecessary damage. So next turn we're going to be able to go... yeah, so they go get an island, they play their island. Now Now if they go like untap island search, that would be pretty good for us. Because it means our hour resolves. So we probably hour here. It's a high likelihood it gets countered. But oh no, okay. So we're just gonna go Scavenger Grounds and probably Spire Bluff Canal. I think that's probably our best play. Yeah. That's pretty good. So gonna go get another land. It looks like they're building for their approach. Like this looks like hey, we have an approach and that's just what we're working on. So they played Rivulet. Our problems here of their own. We'll probably swing with our zombies and offer the trade, so that way our Carnage Tyrant is okay. Four, five, six. So we'll actually be able to cut one of these zombies. And then play Carnage Tyrant after we swing. So they could bubble a zombie and trade with a zombie, and that would be pretty fine. Yeah. So that means now if they like untap and play Hour again, they won't have the ability to triple block. Approach here would be really unfortunate. Plays his own Carnage Tyrant. So we could have Sheep, Oasis, our Carnage Tyrant, which would allow us to swing for a pretty fair amount of damage. I think that might be the play. So we just go Forest, Forest, 1. Activate this, choosing my Carnage Tyrant, sacking this Rivulet. And then swing for 10. It's a little aggressive. But like he can't block, so he just takes 10. He can make the exact same play next turn. So they have to have Settle open next turn. That seems fine. So he passes, which means it's almost definitely got Settle in hand. So now we actually want to probably sit back and play this Mind. Yeah, we're going to want to sit back and draw cards. Because our opponent definitely is now sitting back on Settle the Wreckage. Because we saw that they kept them in last turn, they discarded one of them. Still hasn't played this Plains in hand, so he has 3 cards in hand. We'd like to have a counterspell, or have them play something before we do that play again. So there's the Plains. Alright, so we could play Approach here. Okay. So now they've got an Approach. If they have a second Approach, then that's just unfortunate. They have no blue mana open. So we will do this. There's our negates. There's a negate, but we also have our gift. So we want to play forest. We want to gift our island. 1, 2, 3. So if we Oasis our Tyrant, we still have the 4 mana open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can Ribbons them for 6. They have the ability to settle still. If we just swing with Tyrant, we're not in a great spot. So if we swing with Tyrant, then they block and we trade. They don't even have to settle. If we pump Carnage Tyrant, we lose 4 mana. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4. We can negate, but they have a second approach in hand. Then we lose. I think we will. Let's see, if I go ribbons, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's not going to be enough. So I think we're actually just passing. And activating Arch. That doesn't feel good. Might be playing around too many things. So Knight doesn't matter. Alright, so we're going to activate Arch now. That one's not bad. So we could try to mill their approach away, but we also have double counterspell. So if we go for the sheep and we swing and he double blocks, he takes 2. Let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 6 mana. What do we want to do for 6 mana? I think we're just passing. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ugh. None of this is glorious. What are we playing? Fumigate. We'll probably commit the Fumigate. I really don't want to get Fumigated here. Because I want to get a swing in with this Carnage Tyrant. Maybe we want to reveal him now. Let's draw with an arch. Okay. I think we want to reveal them. Sacrifice the tap and reveal it. Yes. So I'll get rid of the fumigate and the approach. Negate, fumigate, search, search. We'll do it again. Oh wait, cancel. Nope, that was, I think I counted that wrong. That's bad. So spring, look at this island. Look at this land. It hasn't seemed like they've had counter magic so far, because they've just kind of let everything resolve. They could have it, but it hasn't seemed like it. Alright, so... we're going to mind. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we'll go ahead and cut that Knight of Grace. Pump this Carnage Tyrant. Sacking itself. Yes. So he's going to Scavenger Grounds us now. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay. I think we should pass turn. So we're going to also mill him now. Second. Yes. I think they're trying to mill us. which is fine. Yeah, I don't really know. Our opponent's got one card in hand. We're going to negate this. Now we'll go double green, cycle. Okay, so we're going to go Sifter Wurm. And if we attack with both, he has to trade, which means he takes 2. Put on bottom, put on bottom, put on top. So he has to, so he's going to be able to bounce our zombie, trade with our Carnage Tyrant. Next turn we're going to untap, play a Carnage Tyrant. So he goes to... takes 3. Oh, okay, so he gets our... gets to mill our other Carnage Tyrant, which is revealed. So next turn we're going to play another Sifter Wurm. He only has 1 Maze of Ith. We're real close on clock. So we play Sifter Wurm. Put on top, put on top, put on top. Attack with all creatures. So he takes 2. We need to go to combat one more time. Probably not going to be able to go to combat again. It's going to be unfortunate. Let's see. Alright, F6. Let's see if they have the ability to stop us. Up. Oh, with 0 seconds left on the clock. Holy crap. Oh, that was a little bit closer of a call than typically I'm going to want to have happen. Oh, alright, so we win. That was stressful. It's very stressful. We are now 2-1. One match, opponent conceded game 1 after they realized we were on the ramp deck. The control matchups are not the matchups we typically want to be playing because our clock is very slow. But yes, so we take the play. Sand's not great, but we're going to keep it. Alright, so we're going to go forest and pass. Yeah, so we don't really have anything that our hand's doing here. We need to find a ramp spell. Don't really want to see control colors, but this is okay. Island, search. It's probably like blue-white control. That's good. This is exactly what we wanted to see. We always put on our forest because it can't get Field of Ruined, and we are likely to use like our rivulets and other things throughout the game. Yeah, so blue-white control, or maybe blue-white mid-range, or God Pharaoh's Gift. I can't remember if Search for Azcanta is running God Pharaoh's Gift, but it could be just blue-white God Pharaoh's Gift. We'll have to see. Alright, so we play... I really don't mind getting hit by Champion of Wits for a little bit here. I want to be able to keep commit open if our opponent plays anything that is more detrimental. Strategic planning, yep. So let's see if they put... Alright, so they're still trying to find a gift. Struggle to Survive would be a good card to draw pretty soon. Maybe we do cut now. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, because we can actually cut this and still keep open our ability to commit if they like somehow manage to like mill a... Yeah, so had they milled a God Pharaoh's Gift and they went for a refurbish. Compass is pretty good. I don't think we can activate it yet. Because if we activate it and play a land, we would not have the ability to play commit. So we want to save it. I just don't want them to get back a Champion of Wits. So there's a God Pharaoh's Gift. So if they refurbish it back into play, we're going to let that resolve, and then we're going to commit before they go to combat the God Pharaoh's Gift back into their deck. So now it's gone, and they have to find it again. Or they're going to draw it, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they have to find another land in order to be able to actually get it in play. Oh, that's pretty good. Alright, so we can now activate Compass, and then we can play the land we fetch. So let's go and get this mountain. Play this mountain. So we can actually consign a spell and then Oblivion them, but we want to wait for them to get to a lower card count before we do that. Okay, so they can just hard cast God Pharaoh's Gift soon. Lyra we don't worry about as much. We're going to be able to Hour of Devastation to Lyra. Or just bubble it off of a flipped compass. We could also just kill the Lyra and survive them, but I think the better play is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm going to go and flip Compass. And then make them find a way to attack us through a Maze of Ith. So that's going to make them commit more to the board, and then we'll be able to Hour of Devastation them. Or I guess we'll take 5 here. We might just struggle it. Yeah, that's probably the play. I had to tap my Compass in order to do it, so I can't actually do that yet. Alright, so here's how this is going to go. We're going to put this back in their hand. Okay. And then we're going to kill this Lyra. Oh. Well. Do I want to kill the Lyra? Yeah, I still want to go and kill the Lyra. Because we want to play Survive, so we want to shuffle everything back in. And so that means that we're going to want to make sure the Lyra's gone for good as well. So can I do Consign and Survive? That's 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, we can. So let's do that first. Make them discard 2 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do they discard? Godfather's Gift and Angel Intervention. And then Survive. Green, red. Alright, so now we restart. They have 2 cards in hand. I have 3 board wipes and a Maze of Ith and a land that draws me cards. They also have a land that draws them cards, so that's fine. I'm not worried about Sunscourge Champion. Let's go and cycle this now. Go play our land for turn. We're going to draw cards off Arch. We need to hit a Sifter Wurm pretty soon. Yep, so let's see what they hit. They hit a God Pharaoh's Gift. So we can just continuously bubble this Sunscourge Champion. They don't have any gas currently, so we're just trying to maintain that. Alright, spring is pretty good. So now we can flashback Mind and still bubble. So they have a gift, and they also have another search. Search will be effective because it's going to allow them to start milling their cards. So they're going to be able to start binning creatures in an attempt to try to resolve a God Pharaoh's Gift. I believe this list is actually kind of awkward in the sense that it doesn't truly have an artifact destruction method, so that could be a bit of a problem. What's up, kitty cat? Alright. Our promise is pretty good. Field of Ruin. We could blow up the Azcanta, but I don't think the Azcanta actually matters. How close are we to cutting for the win? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we can cut them for 12. I think we still just hour. And we're going to go get Scavenger Grounds. Field of Ruin. I think Yeah, we'll just maintain the ability to blow up both Azcantas if we want to. So they're going to activate this Azcanta. We want to see what they get, and then we'll probably blow it up. So they get a Fumigate. Blow up this Azcanta. I don't know how many basics we have left in our deck. Okay, so we can blow up one more land. Our future Spring Mines are dead. Ideally, I would like him to start attacking us with Sunscourge Champion, because with our cut to ribbons, we actually want to be attacking him. That's fine. We can't let the angel hit us. Oh, that's nice. So we're actually going to be able to cut this angel. So we're going to bounce the angel out of combat. We're going to take 3. Alright, so we're going to cut the angel. We're going to Gift of Paradise our forest. And then now we actually get to go on the offensive. Okay, so we know they have God Pharaohs, or we know they have Fumigate in hand. We're just trying to get them a little bit lower so our ribbons can actually finish the game. And we have a Scavenger Grounds that we can activate whenever we want to. What is even Wind Guard? Creature tokens you control have flying and vigilance. Whoa. Okay, well, if he's going to Fumigate, then we... So there goes the Fumigate. Yeah, we can actually just Scavenger Grounds now. We'll sack this Rivulet. So we lose our ribbons, but we have another ribbons. And our opponent's again turned off. We really need to hit Sifter Wurms pretty soon. Cat's being ridiculous. Okay. Alright. We don't have very many cards left in our deck to hit Sifter Wurms off of. So we're actually going to try to draw some cards and see if we can get there. Yeah, let's do this. There's a Sifter Wurm. Alright, so now we go Sifter Wurm. Forest. 1, 2, 3. We'll leave our Maze Abyss open. Bottom, top. So we gain 4. So now we have a cut to ribbons, and we're ready to just drain our opponent out as soon as we get a target. We can actually target our own Sifter Wurm, which is pretty sweet. So I think we could actually just win the game here. That's fine. Our opponent's at 23. So we're probably going to actually hour this Fairgrounds Warden because we want to make sure that our Scavenger Grounds doesn't go away. What else do we have? There's 3 cards in hand. Put it on the bottom. Put it on top. Put it on top. Alright. We could exile graveyards right now so they don't get a Fairground Warden back, but I think we're going to wait and do it at into their main phase, and we are probably going to go ahead and activate that. Because our cut to ribbon should end the game, so we just need to make sure that we're able to get to that point. They're going to blow up our Scavenger Grounds, so we're going to activate it now. We're going to sacrifice the Scavenger Grounds. Yes. So we don't get the Sifter Wurm we just put on top. Well, actually... and neither of us get a land. It's pretty sweet. So even if he gets an Angel here, we're going to be able to go Hour of Devastation, cut the Angel, and then Ribbons for a lot. And they whiff. Champion of Wits is fine. We're still probably going to Hour to wipe the board, hit him for 7, take him to 16, and then try to drain them out with cut. Or we'll cut the champion and then try to drain them with Ribbons. Shalai is unfortunate. Okay, so we're gonna draw a card. There's another Sifter Wurm. So yeah, we're gonna Hour. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 7. So we don't have quite enough in play yet. I'm actually going to cast this Sifter Wurm because if they try to bring back their Champion of Wits by casting it, we'll be able to bounce their God Pharaoh's Gift. Wait, undo. Undo. We need 2 green. Alright, so this should lock up the game. Put that on bottom, put that on top, put that on bottom. So we're at 42. I'm expecting them to eternalize Champion of Wits, which will allow me to bounce God Pharaoh's Gift, which should lock up the game. That's fine. Four, 5, 6. They've already played. They played Field of Ruin for turn, so yeah, they won't be able to get the God Pharaoh's Gift. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Now it's one of these God Pharaoh's gifts. So they'll be able to get back Sunscourge Champion and gain 4, or Champion of Wits and draw. They're not going to be able to do both. And then I'll be able to cut and then ribbons them. Could also just Hour of Devastation and use a Hashib Oasis, so they don't know how many cut to ribbons I'm running. That's probably the better play. Yeah, that's gonna be the better play. Because I don't want to let them know that I'm running 2 cut to ribbons. I want to go and let it be just the 1 card they're aware of. At 2 lands, there shouldn't be anything they're able to do. Yeah, this is fine. Alright, so it's over. So we untap, Hour of Devastation, activate Hashib, Oasis, and then it's game. Green, green, 1, activate it, target that guy. We'll just sack this reveal, it doesn't matter. We swing for 17. Cool. Alright, so we win that one. And what do we want to do? I like Sandworm Convergence in this matchup because a lot of their dudes are flyers. I don't mind negates as ways to get in the way of early spells, early God Pharaoh gifts. Don't really care about Shivan Fire. Don't really care about Aether Meltdown or Carnage Tyrant. I have a lot of ways to interact with their graveyard, so we probably don't need a ton of negates. Like I'm fine with 2 negates. Going down an hour because they do have a lot of resilience, so like sometimes I don't want to hour them. In fact, I'm fine with going 2 hours and 2 Heaven and Earths and 2 Consigns. So I have like these early game ways to interact, and I think this should be pretty good. Oh, move it over. Alright. This hand's pretty keepable, so we'll keep. We have a ramp spell, we have Heaven and Earth, so we have a way to like wipe a board, we have a spot removal, we have the ability to cast the things we have. We have a turn 4, Hour of Promise, which will allow us to find a Scavenger Grounds. We have pretty much everything we're going to want. And our opponent misses a land drop? Yeah. So our opponent keeps a greedy 7. Don't really know. I guess they have like a strategic planning, or probably have a lot of the 2-drop draw spells. Yeah, so they just continue. So they were probably sitting on like all strategic plannings and charter courses, and figured like, oh, if I hit a land, I win. But you can never keep the 1 lander off that because you just sometimes don't hit that land. Your probability's not high enough on it, especially because you don't have the scry. If you're on the draw and you have the scry and you have a 1-lander and a bunch of like the 2-drop cantrips, maybe, but even then you still don't want to keep those. You want to go, if you roll the 6, those are, you can maybe justify it. Ideally, like you're only still keeping hands like that on 5. On 6, you still want to like find a hand where you can keep up if I have a fast start. Yes, so we got 1 more round. We don't know what we're playing against. I don't know if this hand's good enough. We have 2 board wipes. If it's a control deck, then we have Hour of Promise and we'll have time. We're also on the play, so that's fine. We could cycle this desert. Make sure I have an F6. Yeah. So play Memorial. So next turn we'll go Forest. I guess if we draw like a spell that's not a land, we'll probably play the desert. Okay, so we're playing against mono red. So these hours are going to be pretty important, and we're going to need some kind of gas on the top of this deck. Consign is good. However, I don't think there's a turn 2 play they make that I'll want to bounce over getting this desert into play tapped. So we're just going to play the desert pass. So the only play that they make here that I would want to pay a life to bounce would be Carry Zev. And even a Carry Zev, I would much rather have my lands come into play untapped moving forward for Hour of Devastations and Hour of Promises. So I think we just take the 3. And now we actually want to start being able to play things, be able to bounce things. So Chain Whirler here would suck, but it's fine. Swing for... Alright, so Crasher, we will bounce Crasher. It's worth taking 1 damage to set them back a turn and bounce this 3-powered creature. Yeah, bounce him. This is why we have Shivan Fires and Aether Meltdowns on the sideboard. Gift of Paradise wouldn't be bad. Another Consign wouldn't be terrible. Heaven. Huh. So we're going to go Forest and pass. We actually can't Hour, which is awkward. Oh no, not F6, one F5. So he goes Chandra here. Choose us, we go to 7. We're gonna bin this Heaven, or they're on like double burn spell. Done. I feel like I'm probably just dead. Lightning Strike on Crop Crasher. Probably just dead. Yep, so we go Forest, and now we have to go Hour. So we can get a red source. So we're going to get Spire Bluff Canal, and then we need to get a Desert? Desert of the Fervent, probably? Or Scavenger Grounds. Probably Scavenger Grounds, because this Kenner is going to be a problem soon. But I think we're dead here. Yeah. So then we take 6, go to 3. And then they Lightning Strike us again for their 3rd Lightning Strike, which is probably what's going to happen. Alright. A Sifter Wurm here would be perfect. One time. It's not a Sifter Wurm. Alright, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can actually Hour of Devastation and pop. So we need to do for 2. So 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can't consign, we can't do all 3 spells, which is unfortunate. So we're going to go Rootbound Crag. We're going to save our Hour of Devastations. So we're going to go red, red, 1, 2. That'll wipe the board. Our opponent gets to draw a bunch of cards off Bowmat Courier. Yup. I mean, we're just dead. There's just no way. But, yeah, and we have to do this now. And we'll sack Desert of the Indomitable. And we'll leave the 1-man open. There's no way they don't have a burn spell or a haste creature in this stack of cards. There we go. Alright, cool. So we lose that game. If we hit a Sifter Wurm, I think our possibilities are a lot better, but we do not. So these are the decks we want this stuff for. What's our slow stuff? Commit to Memory is way too slow. Consigned to Oblivion is awful. So a lot of these decks are going to bring in some flyers, so I kind of don't hate the Sandworm Convergence over one of the slower hours. Maybe a cut. That's probably 4, 5, 6. I think that's probably the play. Because like they're gonna have phoenixes or dragons, and so we want to be able to like battle with those things or keep them from attacking. So we're gonna bring in the Sandworm Convergence. It might not be what we want, but also if we hit it off a Sifter Wurm, then it's just money. This hand is keepable. So we're going to gain 6 life off Gift of Paradises, and we can kill one thing. It's not great because we have no card advantage currently, so we're just kind of hoping that our jaws aren't all lands. But at least we have things. We will probably kill a turn 1 Bowmat Courier. Because that's going to just be enough damage and card advantage over time that we're just kind of in trouble. Yep. Let them eat a card. Because who knows, maybe we go on the mill plan. Struggle, that's a good draw. We have no play, so we're going to go play the Desert of the Indomitable. So next turn we can go Forest, Gift of Paradise on the Forest, Oasis, Gift of Paradise on the Mountain, and then we'll have Struggle and Survive. Another Bowmat. A lot less interested in killing this Bowmat Courier. Yeah, that's good. Alright, so Gift on our Forest. It's going to be pretty key. So we actually could Hour of Devastation next turn if we want to. Doubt it, but we can. So there's a Chain Whirler. Alright, then we take 2 and we go back to 19. Alright, so now we go Oasis. If we gift our mountain, so let's go green, 1. Gift on the mountain. We still have Struggle to Survive open. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need a land so we can play the Sifter Wurm. Soul Scar Mage doesn't matter. Shock. So they're trying to set up this Bowmat Courier. Which is likely going to happen. I mean, I could shoot the Bowmat Courier, take 5 and then hour the board. I don't hate that. If their card's bad, then they're going to swap it for 2 cards. If their card's good, they're going to have 1 card. And now it's their 1 card versus what I have. I think I actually want to do that. We have enough cushion on our life total, but I think I can go to 15, because I know I'm about to wipe the board anyway. I don't want them being able to swap the 1 card for 3. Okay, so they discarded a Bomat Courier. Or no, they discarded an Abrade. Okay. I'd love for them to like play another 1-drop post-combat here. Because then this Hour Devastation is just going to be huge. We do need to hit a land pretty badly. Play another Soulscar Mage, play a post-combat Bomat Courier. All these would be good things. Nope. So I could Heaven and then Earth, or I could just Hour. I think we just Hour. So we just go red, 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 1. And then if I need to, I can Heaven. Like if they each play 2 dudes, I can just Heaven here. Looks like they're sitting on burn spells, which is good for us. Do need to hit a land. We're 1 land away from Sifter Wurming, which would just take over the game. On Crop Crasher. Alright, and we're just going to bubble this guy. There's our land. Alright, cool. So now we get to take over the game. Whatever the most expensive card is, we're probably just slamming that on top. Hour of Promise is good. So we're going to put Spirebluff Canal on the bottom. Thematic Compass will go to the bottom. Hour of Promise will go on top. And we'll go to 20. So we can still attack and exert using this on Crop Crasher to make us not able to block. But that's the most he's be able to do. Alright, cool. So we go to game 3. I think that sideboard plan was good. I think we still want this cut to ribbons. And I think compasses are slow, so we're going to go down to 2. And they kept Abrades in, so the compass is less good. So we have a lot of like low mana interaction. Shivan Fire, Aether Meltdown, Cut to Ribbons, Struggle Survive. So I think game 1s we are underdogs, but I think game 2s and game 3s we actually have a pretty decent matchup. We just need to hit lands. Alright, so on the draw, we don't have a green source, otherwise this hand would be insane. We do have 2 removal spells, and we are on the draw, and we have a Gift of Paradise when we eventually hit a green source. This is a close one. I think we can keep this one, because we have a fair number of draw steps to try to get there. Alright, so we also have a compass now, which can be the method we use to get to our green source if necessary. Okay. And we're going to kill the one with more cards. Okay, we're going to play this compass. We still need another land to even activate this compass. So we still are not out of the woods yet. Lightning strike. And shock. So we take 3. There's a Field of Ruin. Hazaret. Five, 6, 7. I think we have to take 7 and go to 5. Gift of Paradise next turn, and then Meltdown. Because we need to get green source. So grab a forest. Okay, so now we gift the mountain. We go to 8. And we are close to being able to Hour of Devastation. So we go to 6. And then we melt down the Hazaret. We take 2 and go to 4. The best possible outcome would be that they go tap their land, play like a Soulscar Mage. Odds are they're going to tap their land and draw 4 cards. We still don't have access to Sifter Wurm yet. Yeah, we have to Hour here. I think we still lose. That was a slow hand. I mean, if we hit a forest instead of that Field of Ruin, we're okay, but they also had a really fast Hazaret. I don't really think there's a lot of mulligans on the draw where I'm still beating that hand. So that's just kind of the unfortunate state of the matter. Crasher, Lightning Strike, yeah. Alright, cool. So we end up going 3 and 2. The burn matchup is very play draw dependent. Mid-range deck was a real close grind out, but I think overall the deck is really strong. If I was going to play, I would probably play it because it also is a kind of a weird deck for a lot of the format to attack. We get a lot of value out of the graveyard, so a lot of these decks that are in black and they're running like Duresses and stuff, they're not really doing much to stop us because some of our best spells are the back halves of these cards. And Sifter Wurm is just insane. Plus the Hours have never gotten enough play in Standard. Like, they're way better than what they get credit for. So it's definitely like a cool deck and it's worth running. I would probably play it again, and I might do another league with it. Just definitely let us know if this is a deck that you enjoy and you want to see more of. Let us know, or if you have other decks that you want to see, definitely give us a shout out. We did get Twitch affiliate, so we are looking to get as many followers and subscribers as possible. And if you have a deck that you want to see played, we're taking deck recommendations, just different things like that. But I'm gonna go and hop off for now, and thank you very much for joining.